today I'm painting the first day of Drawloween. Mad Labs has a list every year that she does called Drawloween. It's kind of like Inktober, but it's just like Halloweeny. It has like different challenges related to cryptids, monsters, and like not some little silly Halloween things. Today's prompt is Monster Mash self-portrait edition, and I wanted to create a hybrid between myself and Frankenstein wife. So I painted his wife first to kind of get the values and figure out how I want things to look, and then I painted this mixed up mesh part. It kind of started off a little rough, I'm not gonna lie, but trust the process. I'm using lots of oranges, yellows, and pinks as a base because while I want the values to be strong, I still want it to be very vibrant and still like make my skin tone look very radiant. So I found a picture of me to use for this as a reference, and then I just did the hair similar to how my hair already is, just in a different color and style. I struggled a lot with this nose. You'll see me go back and forth with it a lot. I usually don't add this many layers to my work, but since this is the first time that I'm painting like a really dramatic lighting, I really wanted to kind of capture the eeriness that I felt looking at the picture of Frankenstein's wife. I'm sorry, I don't know her name. Like that's just what it's always been known. And for people who are like super fans, I'm well aware that Frankenstein is the creator, not the monster. But if you Google Frankenstein's wife, these are like the images that kind of come up of his wife as in the character who played the monster's wife. So, yeah, lots of oranges, lots of yellows, and I'm going over it with brown. I'm gonna kind of play around between medium brown and like a darker brown. I do not remember the names of these colors, but that is just kind of how I recognize things when I see them. I've had I have a set of wet watercolors, and I tend to just use a little bit at a time depending on what I'm working on at the moment, and I don't have a watercolor palette. Yeah. So yeah, we struggle with this nose a little bit, and eventually I just had to leave it alone because it was destroying my paper and everything. I'm also experimenting with painting larger scale items. I'm used to painting things on either a 9x12 watercolor paper or in my 8x10 watercolor sketchbook. But I've been wanting to experiment with some larger images lately. So yeah. Also, it's been a while since I've painted a portrait. I used to only paint portraits for like years because it was like the only thing I knew how to do. But eventually kind of got sick of it and wanted to play around with some anatomy and play around with non-human subjects. Like I wanted to paint food, I wanted to paint plants. Lately I've been trying to get into painting houses. Eventually I want to learn how to paint animals. Only the animals that I find cute, no offense. I'm not trying to paint some ugly ass animals. Not trying to look at them. Just, I only want to paint the ones that I think are cute. And the same with insects. Like, I like to paint beetles, moths, butterflies, praying mantis. I don't want to be sitting here painting roaches and ants or whatever. Ants maybe, roaches, fuck that. But yeah, you're gonna see me struggle with this nose a bit, and like it was hard for me to replicate the dramatic lighting from a black and white photo that I then translated onto a green portrait, because that's just the color that I wanted to paint her, and then try to mimic those same values with my features in a painting. Also, every time I paint a self-portrait, it always looks distorted to me. Like, they never look the same. They never quite look like me. It's like I'm painting a me-inspired portrait, but not exactly me. It's weird when I paint self-portraits. I don't know if any other artists have that problem where you feel like your work is distorted if you paint yourself versus if you paint other people or paint images inspired by other people and then kind of use those to create your own characters and go from there. So yeah, we're gonna do the hair now. I already did the outline. Sorry about that. So I already did the outline for the drawing, including how I wanted to do the hair in a blue mechanical pencil. You could faintly see that. But yeah, and I just allowed it to cauliflower. I'm just painting like some random splotches of black and then going over it with water to create that splotchy effect and create some texture in the hair. And then once the water kind of saturates around different parts of the black splotches, it'll create this texture effect. I usually don't like it when my paintings have that cauliflower effect that happens when you add too much water to paint ratio on a painting, but I loved it for this one because it gave me texture to the hair without it being super cartoony, like a solid black. Like I see a lot of people when they paint the hair, they tend to just do solid black and white or solid gray and white and then kind of go from there. But because I wanted to have texture, because I have textured hair, and the original image is kind of like this bushy white girl hair texture, I also wanted to kind of mix those two things together. I think that is a really cool thing. But I gave it a mohawk because this is a self-portrait and I've had a mohawk for the majority of my adult life, for the most part, and I have no interest in growing out my sides or wearing a wig to cover it, or straightening my hair or anything to go much different from that. That is my own personal preference, as my own thing. And I just think that this style with the texture of the original mixed in with my own hair texture, which is like anywhere between a type 3C and a type 4A, depending on the moisture and all that. But yeah, anyways, I hope you guys enjoy this painting. I'll try and paint as many of these Drawloween prompts as I possibly can. I may not be able to paint them all, but maybe I can do a video drawing some of the other concepts that I wasn't able to paint, and at the end of the month I'll pick out my favorite ones to make into prints, postcards, stickers, and everything. And I'll also be sharing my journey on TikTok and Instagram. If you wanted to see like small clips of it and like pictures, aside from this video, then that is where I'll be sharing my journey as well. I'm gonna start off by just doing her once a week prompts as far as like the paintings go, and then I'll draw out the light portion of her challenge, and then if I'm able to manage that as far as paintings go, then I'll kind of work my way around to some of the other days as well, or at least try and draw it. It doesn't all have to be full-on paintings. I personally cannot commit to full paintings every single day for 31 days. I have 2 jobs. Most of the time I'm working about 6 days a week. My average time painting can take anywhere between 3 to 8 hours, and that's literally the time that I need to sleep and eat and recuperate for work. It would be dangerous in my field for me to go to work without good sleep. So that's just not the thing that we're gonna do. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this painting. Thank you guys so much for watching. Follow me on Instagram and TikTok if you want to follow along with my journey. Thank you.